Alright, what's up? This is actually my second take of this video, because I had some very unfortunate things happen during the first one. But, you know, that's how it goes. So if you are somehow unable to read that thing at the bottom, it says heart synergy and team building. So I kind of wanted to give examples on heart synergy, you know, what she wants in a partner, and how she can benefit partners and stuff. And she's a bit difficult to work with, despite being kind of like a standard E character, but she's got like so many unique things going for her that like you really want to make the most of them, right? So I picked Izue, right? Izue's got a very well-rounded assist set. She's got the 4P, she's got the 5P, and the 6P, which in this version spawns little swords on block. So how does Heart use this? So, I mean, we gotta think about how Heart wants to play neutral in the first place, right? She's got her little guard point thing here, and that's a kind of staple neutral thing. Also the punch, right? So I'm forgetting the biggest thing, right? I'm not really forgetting, I was just waiting, okay? I was just waiting. It's homing, right? How do we use homing with this stuff? So Izue 4P obviously, you know, gives you a really good angle to like challenge people trying to meet you, trying to like get in on them from the top, because Heart can take this weird angle that a lot of characters can't properly deal with. It's kind of like, you know, down. It's kind of like the square root function if you're a math person, but I'm not going to go into that. So 4P functions really well for helping like her air-to-air, especially because her air-to-air horizontally is rather weak. She doesn't really have such a great time like dealing with people like spacing her out horizontally air-to-air, so this will give you a really nice confirm no matter what. Bring him down, you know, hits high, it's fast. It's tied with Fubuki for fastest assist in the game, I think. So, you know, 5P pretty standard, hits rather high, but the 6P is where the bulk of the neutral play comes in, right? So you can kind of just call 6P and just have it coming, right? And if they block it or not, like, you know, you'll get advantage from this, right? So I wanted to show, I guess, what happens in a lot of scenarios, right? So let's try to avoid this, right? So Heart's at advantage here, and she can actually slip under and cross me up. But let's say I try to anti-air her, because I'm a champ, and somehow I didn't get it because I don't know the anti-air time. There we go. Anyway, so the swords will cover you. So the general idea behind this team's neutral is kind of built around body blocking, especially because you can block during homing, right? And let's say even if I do end up meeting Heart air-to-air, I still have to be afraid of the projectile. So that's pretty important. And what happens when they block the projectile? Well, I don't know, Heart things can happen, right? So homing lets her take advantage of this frame advantage like very hard and very quickly. So yeah, that's a nice part. So I could punch you. I like her foray. Anyway, the kind of similar idea applies to Izue, but obviously laser is a bit more limited. It doesn't have a ton of block stun, but Izue does have teleports, right? So that is something to keep in mind. So you can get all sorts of cheap stuff with laser, and ultimately the cool part about laser is, imagine if I'm Heart and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna do my cool body block thing with homing, but then you're Izue and you're like, oh, I have a laser, right? So even if you're afraid of this projectile, and she comes out swinging, right? Laser will still cover you. It will pierce everybody. So both of these things inherently, Heart's body blocking will get you like really strong mix, and this will kind of just allow Izue to get in. And her offense is going to be a little tricky to deal with solo, but she has good stuff with Heart too. So one thing to note is Heart 5P, right? So it's kind of long, right? It's kind of not as long as it looks. So that's about max range, I want to say. This, maybe, I don't think this will hit. Yeah. So it's not as long as it looks, but it's still pretty functional for helping Izue deal with stuff in neutral. And of course it gives her all the confirms that she needs. Laser with 2 through 6A is really good. You'll get a confirm off this stuff no matter what. Like air to air, you hit someone and blah blah blah, or they block it and blah blah blah. You get an instance for change mix up right here, right? So that's kind of the goal of your neutral anyway. It just really makes it so simple, and honestly, it's a bit weird to me because of how easily it's just like, well, laser up, teleport. Anyway, yeah, just making the most of Heart's forward movements, the safety behind it too, you know, just being able to block during it and stuff like that. There are a couple other cute uses for, you know, homing and easy UI4P and stuff like that that are really strong. But, you know, I'll just go into the recordings. That's kind of the neutral ideas are pretty standard for team games. You know, you have such a strong forward movement with a laser on the ground. Like, imagine just being like full screen and then thinking, okay, I have a moment to breathe, and then like you just get crossed up and then you get crossed up again, and it's like, cool, you know, what did I do to deserve this? Or you want to call laser during your dash when you air dash, and then you kind of like coast along the ground. You've got options. Kind of similar options to Heart Point, but yeah. Yeah, recordings. Cool, let's do that. So I've got them saved up. Heart. So this is a good example of how to use Heart's charge 5B, right? Because this will get you a ton of frame advantage, but I'm like, oh, how do I go crazy in the mix? Because ultimately, right, the high-low mix during block stun is not super crazy, which is also why it's good to go for the mix after Easy O6P, because it gives you a four-way mix, right? Instead of just high-low, it becomes high-low left-right. So you want to aim for the end of that window when you're doing mix-ups with Heart solo. But otherwise, you know, damn, we've got him jailed. What do we do now? Okay, so here's the recording. Or just kidding, it's on the wrong one. Alright, here's the recording. Alright, that looked cool, right? So what do we do? Oh, I'm gonna block this. Oh, So Heart has her projectiles, right? And they're pretty slow. There are homing cancelable, but it's rather late. So it's like, you know, how does she set these things up? How does she set them up? Well, this actually is nice for her because it gives her enough blocks to set up the heart balls, right? And if you look here, I'm holding up the whole time. This whole thing was airtight, right? And getting the heart balls out, whoops. Well, if you get hit there, you want them to confirm it. Getting the heart balls out means that Ezio is able to confirm off the fuzzy, which she normally can't. She actually cannot convert this by herself. So that is something to keep in mind, and also something to think about for that recording that I showed you that I wasn't supposed to. But here it is. So this is another reason why this team is so good. Heart's 5P moves her so far forward, right? She like coasts into them after, right? So she's pretty close to them, which is good for active switch stuff. But let's look at this, right? So this is going to be a knockdown into the mix. Right, so that converted. That converted. And it's nice because Heart... Here, I'll just get it. Here, let's look at it again. Right, I block the safe jump, right? Heart comes out, punches. Here's the overhead. Kind of want to block it, and then here's the mix. Either the fuzzy change, or she does low change, right? And Heart is close enough to be able to convert either one of these and retain advantage. So suddenly your safe jump becomes really strong. And that safe jump is actually an option select where you super jump and then you double tap air dash, right? Because what happens here is no matter what direction you face, your air dash will always face the correct way, right? Because look, it always goes forward. And if you super jump, your facing changes, right? So I'll give you an example quick. So she air dashes forward here, right? So technically speaking, if this is a recording, it should be going left-left, right? But if you use the AB macro, it will always air dash forward. So super jumping will allow you to chase directional text, which works in tandem with the strength of that setup. So that whole thing, that safe jump into assist, into dash overhead, confirm fuzzy or whatever, it's safe. It's mad good. So, obviously Izuyoi also has the opportunity there to throw you. And if you do push block her, she still has the opportunity to create a sandwich with her teleports and stuff like that. So, that's pretty decent stuff overall. Show you the other ones. Oh yeah, alright. So this is pretty tight. Here, I'm holding up back the whole time. Nice, let's do it. So, I don't want to eat this mix-up. It will still catch push block. Again, it will still catch push block there. Come on, let me push block it. Wait. Yeah, we did it. So that's kind of new to this version. There's a small window where you can push block the laser, and because Heart's not on the screen, it gets a little strange. But yeah, it's pretty difficult to time, and overall, your offense for performing it in the first place is pretty safe, right? Because like, Heart's so far away. And honestly, she could do a number of other things. Izuyoi point, that is. She could teleport, and then, you know, she could throw your push block, and blah blah blah. So it gets pretty open-ended, and ultimately the structure is pretty hard to deny. Oh, here we go. Alright. Blocking in the corner. I'm chilling in the corner. I'm holding back. Alright. We chilling. Right? We got the mix. Oh, that was a cross-up? Oh my god. Alright, let me block the cross-up. Okay, let me actually block the cross-up. So that's an example of kind of using the obscurity from 6P to go crazy for high-low. And it's a little awkward because you can influence your downwards momentum. You can kind of hover before you hit the floor. Right, just like that, to get a delayed overhead. You could even do stuff like... That's a delayed overhead as well, right? So also a delayed overhead. But pretty much it synergizes nicely with 5AA's ability to vacuum out of the corner. Because this is a mix, right? I can't actually jump out of this. I'm getting hit on jump startup. So if I want to do something like... I don't actually know, like, if that... Yeah, that was a cross-up. It's a cross-up, cross-up. And apparently if I block it cross-up, she's on the outside. So, you know, that's cool. But overall, you know, this is the team. Heart can really make the most out of Izuyoi 6P. Go for mix. Schmix. You know, you can really take advantage of the obscurity, the visual obscurity. Oops. I gotta learn this. Yeah, there we go. A lot of the flashiness. Bump, 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 bump. There we go. Whoops. I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, this is just like very safe overall, right? Because that's invul. Imagine if they reversaled. Oops. Is that it? Her DP is actually pretty slow. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, hard DP is actually pretty slow. Kind of surprising. But... Nice. Good job, Heart. You did it. You're a genius. But pretty much this will let you take those guesses and still retain advantage. which is really nice, right? And of course, Heart can always do some cute solo mixes, you know. The main thing about EasyOi 6P is giving you the options. You've got the standard assist set. It's freeform from there. Oh, the world is your oyster. They're in Blockstone for 2 days? Like, oh, I got 2 days. Anyway, that's about it for the synergy on this team. You know, teleports, lasers, you can go crazy. So, just make sure you're always holding forward. You know, you block with your face, kind of sometimes. You can always make the most of these advantage situations, because if you see that they block laser, like, you're in, right? You're in. Anyway, that's about all I have to say on this team, I think. Other recommended partners for her, I would say Gordeau is also amazing for her, and he makes great use of laser because he can just go into command throw mix up after you block laser. Both Ruby and Gordeau can... Here, I'll just show you. So you can kind of take the same idea and think about like Ruby 2 through 6B active switch being used for it to give Heart like, you know, high-low mix-up while she does homing. But Gord EX Reaper, of course, is really good for this. So from the perspective of Gord Point, say we block laser, oh, I could go for command throw mix here, right? And that's kind of cool, but you can also do change command throw mix. And even if you don't want to go for command throw mix, oh, you block laser? Cool, right? All that from block laser. Same thing goes for Ruby 236B, of course, but yeah, you know, those are the general applications. Gordeau 6P also is a beautiful move for her, especially in thinking about the body block stuff, because that will beat all other projectiles, so... Yep. That's about it. I don't know what else to say. Thank you for watching, if you watched all 4 videos and stuff, or if you didn't, you know, you can catch the other ones. Naoto, Teddy, and Seth. Yeah, if there's anything else you want me to talk about, just let me know. Until next time.